Welcome to your daily news. I'm Brooke Bovenkamp, and here are your top stories. A family living on the Willamette River near the Selwood Bridge claims several boats around their home have been causing problems for quite some time. Events like the Jazz Combo Combination Night allow students to showcase musical works of their own, and the coolest part is that it is open to students within the School of Music and outside. Hey Cougs, I'm Brooke Bovenkamp, your WSN correspondent here at Martin Stadium, where the Cougs had just had an electric game tonight, winning 31-22. Cameron Ward had 212 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. After their tough loss last Saturday against UCLA, number 19 WSU football has to put all feelings aside and prepare for this weekend's homecoming game versus Arizona at Martin Stadium. After listening to the speakers of the NEMI Pew Protecting the Environment group speak, the community headed down to the river for a community river float to continue to have their voices heard. I'm standing on Main Street here in downtown Pullman in front of what many of you may recognize as Oak on Main. However, if you look closely, you can see the branding of their new logo, SCUSY. The track and field program will compete in the Don Kirby Elite in Albuquerque, New Mexico from Friday to Saturday. Last week, they hosted the WSU Open and multi-held in Spokane. The Cougars saw 10 top 10 finishes, most of which by the Spikes of Lee Walburn. As the Cougs face an uncertain future due to the recent Pac-12 conference realignment, they will take on number 19th ranked Wisconsin Badgers this Saturday, September 9th, marking one of the biggest games for the Cougs this season. This will be the Cougs' biggest opponent to visit Pullman in 25 years, and it's not likely that we will see another game this big for a long time. The group of NEMI Pew Protecting the Environment and the Native Organizers Alliance gathered at Hell's Gate State Park in Lewiston, Idaho on September 30th to raise their voices towards a cause and sacred obligation very close to their hearts. The tribal member activists and communities are campaigning all across the region to support treaty rights in the Columbia River Basin and the health of the Salish Sea bioregion by bearing witness to the urgency of breaching the Lower Snake River dams.
Many people are beginning to realize that you cannot privilege science over traditional ways. They're beginning to understand that indigenous traditional teachings actually not only have power because they're from our ancestors, but because they are based in an understanding of our relationship with the natural world.
Speakers at the event preached and sang in support of the environment and to protest threats to their sacred land and the freedom of the Snake River salmon populations.
There's a lot of money. We don't want money. We don't want funding. We want salmon in that river for the future generations because it's a critical part of our culture. Kids that are 10 years old now, that they can go out and take salmon from the rivers.
The overarching goal of the traveling campaign is to increase public awareness, encourage collective action, and to press the Biden administration to protect their sacred salmon from extinction.
We still would like to see the dams being breached. We support dam breaching because that's the only real way to restore the salmon. Whereas they've tried other things, like fish ladders don't work, hatchery programs don't work.
After listening to the speakers of the NEMI Pew Protecting the Environment group speak, the community headed down to the river for a community river float to continue to have their voices heard. Oak on Main has served as a downtown Pullman destination for many years, serving up Italian classics for Pullman residents while aiming to give off that authentic Italian ambiance. Back in August of 2023, the business made the decision to fully rebrand the location, adding some new features as well as introducing a new name. I'm standing on Main Street here in downtown Pullman in front of what many of you may recognize as Oak on Main. However, if you look closely, you can see the branding of their new logo, SCUSY, branding the colors of a traditional Italian flag, a choice made by management in order to embrace their Italian roots. I'm Brooke Bovenkamp reporting.
When we were Oak on Main, Oak on Main really didn't scream Italian food. We were 100% authentic Italian, so decided to kind of come up with an Italian name that was kind of fun and kitschy. So SCUSY is kind of how we came up with it.
Marriott described how the original rebranding idea actually began when a group of students from the Carson College of Business were sent to local businesses in Pullman to brainstorm branding tactics. Some new additions at SCUSY include a new deli section where you can purchase freshly sliced meats and cheeses, as well as gelato and flatbreads in addition to their original menu.
We had a little Italian wine shop, but most of the stuff that we have in our shop is imported from Italy.
Some residents were unaware of the restaurant's rebranding but are eager to check it out.
I live at Evolve right next to the new restaurant, and I'm really excited. I didn't realize they were rebranding it. I thought it was a completely new restaurant, so I'm really excited to try their new food.
Scoozy also now features a home goods section with seasonally themed kitchen decor and more. While there are a lot of changes, they look forward to expanding further on their new offerings in the months to come.